This is Love and Sparkles, and here's the drive-in chat. And of course, I don't have one of those holdy things, so I just get to hold you. And we have got an overcast day. We're supposed to have thunderstorms all day tomorrow. And I know I just got a wind warning for like one town over. But I'm heading to my doctor's office, so you'll be able to see what it's like to go to my doctor's office. And I'll turn this down a little more just because I don't want it to be louder than I am. Oh, and they've been doing road work on the road, so it's been... Sometimes you sit forever waiting for them to let your little part go. This part you've seen, because this goes to the little Dollar Tree, and all of our little trees are starting to turn green. They're starting to sprout. So my poor sinuses and my ears and my eyeballs have gone crazy. I feel like I got grit in them. I let one of the doggies in the house. The other ones are like, no, Mom, it's nice outside. What do you mean? We don't want to go in. So they're out front laying on the hill. And there's this beautiful tree. There it is. It's one of them white Bradford pears. Mostly they smell like doo-doo, but they're really pretty. And this is just a trip to get to the interstate. And then I still have like, 20 miles to go. I was so happy when I saw them put that little Dollar Tree in, or Dollar General, or what? Yeah, Dollar General. Because other than that, we didn't have nothing until you got to town. And it was, yeah, rough. And this was my good deed. Because I used to live in Conway, and my mom and dad were hitting their 70s, and Mom half-time didn't make sense. Poor Dad was trying to drive her to doctor's offices like one day a week, every day a week sometimes. And so the guy I was dating at the time was like, let's just go out there and see if there's somewhere out there you could put a house. And so he was like, yeah. He said it'd be easy. It wasn't easy, but we did it. And we were together for quite a few years until he went crazy and pulled out a shotgun and started shooting over my daughter and grandkids' heads because he was mad at her husband, trying to get to her husband. And so he went bye-bye because I wasn't good. That's the most terrified I've ever been in my life. And so now I'm out there, and my brother just kicked his girlfriend out. So now it's just me and my dad. And I told him, I said, well, you know, you can come over and visit. I've been watching all these cool movies on YouTube. I've been watching YouTube movies for a while. I think I've seen every way that Earth can end. I mean, they've had a lava storm. They've had fire tornadoes. They've had ice twisters. They've had regular twisters. They've had volcanoes. Then it went into where I was watching shows with airplanes in them, and it was like airplane versus volcano and crash landings and airplanes in trans warp, and I mean, it was just interesting. It was my granddaughter's like, man, how many ways can we destroy the Earth? And I said, honey, there's a lot of them. Oh, asteroids. It was comical. She was like, wow. And so that's what we did all week when they were up here. That is so wild because that is not flashing. That is totally solid. But my phone is picking it up as flashing. So that's pretty interesting. So it's really not flashing. And this is what I was talking about. They're resurfacing the road. And so they're making you flip back and forth to one side to the other. Oops, sorry. You really didn't want to see my hand. And at least people have been driving decent. And I don't know how long we'll be over here behind the Follow Me truck. And I think I'll load this one up today but for my number 7 of my 7-day upload, I am going to do a walkabout through Hobby Lobby, see what they have. And then I'm also going to do a walkthrough of Dollar Tree and see what they have since they've gone to $1.25. So we'll just have a video making day. I need to try to start doing that and then just dump them out of my phone to my computer, because when I'm on the computer I can schedule and just drop them down and schedule them. Once I get this last couple in here, I'll just schedule them, put them all in. And I got to give Diamond Nana the links because she wants the links. And so I'll give her all them links, and I'll have a 7-day upload challenge done. I saw the coolest idea, guys, and I might try to make it. It's a different craft idea. It's not just diamond paintings, but it's going to be for my diamond painting. And it was where you take 10 of the little wood crates that you get at Dollar Tree and some paint and some glue. And you can make, and clothespins. And you can make a tower that can hold your trays, and you can, make little things on top to hold your pins and hold your wax and hold your whatever, and have it all just on a upright twirly, because it's on. You also make a little homemade Lazy Susan, and I'm gonna try to see if I can make one of those, because it looked like a pretty cool idea. I'm gonna change it up because she was doing it for ink pads, which are bigger than diamond painting trays, so but I'm gonna see what I can do, because that was a really cool idea. I mean, it was really, and then you could take and put a little metal sheet on it and put your cover minders that you're going to use for right then on it. And so I'm just gonna see what I can do. And I got that other idea I'm gonna do where I got 4 I got to put in my portfolios. And so I'm gonna sit down and we'll go through my portfolio so you can see what I have, because I've given so many away. So many. I don't have those no more. But the ones I still have are in my portfolio. And then I can show y'all those. But really a cool idea. I just happened to come across it. I'm going to change it up a little, but it's a really cool idea. And I'm going to attempt to work out of baggies one time for y'all. I really don't like it, but I'm going to try. I have a long skinny thing that I can put dividers in and see if I can make it work. And so we'll try that. I'm getting creative. I'll try that. While I'm at Hobby Lobby, I may pick up another photo box. That would give me, try to pick up 2 more of certain colors and then see if that'll work, because if I can get them down to 2 of each, which I might. So I might just buy 2 more of one color, one design, and then that way let's see if I can put the squares in one and my rounds in the other. Do that up, because right now I can't stuff anything else in it. And I try to keep all of my diamonds, for the simple fact of I have so many heaven and earths, and I really don't want to buy diamonds for all of them. And I have found that at Hobby Lobby you can buy for white. And yeah, a little white will show through, but if your diamonds are close enough, it won't be so bad. For just little handmade things. So I might make one with my granddaughter's name on it and just frame it, and that way she'll have one for her wall. She took my old little orange girl home with her because she said she looked like Billie Eilish. It's like, okay. Something about the orange hair. So I was like, okay, you can have her. And then I switched out, took my dragon off my wall and put the bouquet of pink roses up there. It looks pretty good. I just rotate them out. And I may convert it a new person. My AC guy came over to get the numbers off of my breakers, because he's got to order breakers. And his wife was talking about, she goes, oh, these are neat. She goes, that's what my daughter-in-law's got one of those she's doing. And I was like, but she goes, she likes wolves. And so I took her in my bedroom and showed her the wolf dream catcher that's at Hobby Lobby. And I said, well, you can get this one at Hobby Lobby. And a lot of times they're 40% off. I said, so, good idea to check out Hobby Lobby. And so she was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. So I probably converted her. I found someone that's in my own state, about an hour and a half from me, maybe an hour and 20 minutes at the most. And I want to see when, weather gets better. If someday maybe she wants to get together and hang out, and I drive down to Hot Springs Village, because I know exactly where she's at. She probably don't know exactly where I'm at, but I know exactly where she's at, or pretty darn close. I haven't hit the interstate yet. Still going. Ooh, that gas station's up to $4.51. That's one of those out in the middle of nowhere gas stations that he's probably $1 higher than anywhere else, but it's one of those you're out in the middle of nowhere and you're like, I'm on me, I gotta get gas. Yeah, don't those clouds look just tremendous? And it's 71 degrees, which means I think it starts around 8 o'clock tonight, and it's gonna start rocking and booming. As long as it don't drop nothing out of the sky. Here comes a pretty white tree. Look at that. So, spring has sprung. Spring is especially sprung. And all these trees here, that's why I'm dying, have their little buds on them. They got that greenish hue. One of these days I'm going to ask my daughter, because before I went to surgery, they had bingo on Saturdays and Mondays, and she offered once that on a Saturday she would cover me. See if she's still up for that one day. Of course, gas is so stinking expensive, and I'm coming up to babysit for her on Thursday, so that'll be 2 trips this week. And then I'll stop and fill up when I'm in town, coming through town on Thursday or Friday. One of these days when I'm out in the yard, I'll show you what my son did to my pool. It's wild looking. And I might since I'm not planning on putting another pool, and that's a $700 pool pump, I might put the pool pump and saltwater thing on Marketplace for like $350. See if I can get some money for it. Just do it as a U pickup. It's got like pretty much new sand in it. So it's got sand in it. I can give them 2 bags of salt if they want it, so it might be worth putting on Marketplace for people who still have a pool, because once that pool's gone, kids have decided they want to put the chairs out there, make a little burn pit, and make a little camp out area. Like, okay. I'll just put out some tick granules in the sand to keep all the bugs out of the sand. We're almost to town. I can tell you exactly how far. It takes 15 minutes. Well, probably about 20, because I didn't start recording until I got out of my road, which, oh my God, people, there's 3 deserted trailers on my road. And the scavengers have pretty much picked them things over. One is nothing but just some boards. They've already took the walls, the roofs, I mean, everything off of it. The other one's missing one side of walls, and the other one's missing a back wall in the roof. That's like, Lord. I mean, I know times are tough, but dadgum. That's why I've started letting my dogs out front and letting them run, because it keeps people away from my house. I actually have to give my AC guy kudos. He actually came all the way up to the door with 2 big dogs. So I have to give him kudos, because he was like, didn't faze him at all. And usually them dogs terrify people, especially the big one. But he sat there and told me, he said, "You're nothing but a big baby." Which he is. He's nothing but a big baby. That is so weird. I don't know why it's flashy like that. Hey, we get to go. So this is what the trip to town is like right now with all this road work. It's like, Someone commented on in the face in a live the other day. They were like, "Oh my God, the little boys, they were just like crazy around you in your life." And I was like, yeah, they are all boy. And it's so funny because the minute they're done eating, what's for dessert? It's like, well, depends on if you ate your food or not. Because a lot of times they'll feed. It was so funny. They sit there and I watched them feed it to the dog, and they come in and said, "We're done." I said, "No, you're not. You fed that to the doggies. The doggies are done." Okay, gas is $3.81. And remember, in that little side of the road crazy spot, it was $4.51. So if you're desperate, but if you're desperate, you'll pay a little more. And the last time I came through here, it was $3.69. So that's how much it's gone up. And I would hate to be a truck driver right now, because they're paying $5.08 here. But then, of course, in other bigger states, it's even worse. Even worse. And now we are on the way. At least this way I can drive at a decent clip. They were doing so much road work, but of course it needed it. It was bad. That really cold winter just tore it to pieces. Tore it to pieces. I mean, there was like, right in there where that white line is in the middle, there was craters. And we're still only doing like right at 60 and speed limit 75. Or 70. I go 75, but it's 70. So we're doing 10 miles below the speed limit. They finally got around to making it 70. Or is it 75? It might be 75. Yeah, I think it's 75. It might be like 77, 78. There we go. So we went from 65 to 75. And now people drive 90. It's like, wow. Because people always seem to drive about 15 over. I've outgrown that stuff and just used the Cruise, because them tickets be high dollar. I mean, high dollar. The hard part is when I'm out here and I'm doing a lot of interstate driving, and then I go and I'm back on where, see, even for trucks it's 70. They be driving 60. But I'll be on the side roads heading home, and your foot just kind of hangs out where it's used to hanging out, which is 75, and that's where they usually tend to nab me because I don't pay attention. So I've got more up to cruise as soon as I hit that side road, because they all hide in little spots down there and they get you. Yeah, I'm trying to cut back on soda, just do tea, water, and coffee. I've lost a couple pounds on my weight loss journey, and I hadn't even really officially started it. But I'm trying. I might walk down the road, but I don't think I want to walk up that hill again for a while. Number one, bugs. Ticks are starting to come out. I don't want to get tick-eyed. And that was kind of rough. But I did talk to, actually called my ex, because I was like, I'm not texting all this. And I asked him if when he built the fence, if he put those openings in it, or if my brother and his friend did. And he said, no, he did. He put them there so they could drag deer through, and the deer wouldn't have to jump the fence. They could just go through, because he put them where the deer trails were. And I was like, oh, okay, just checking. Every once in a while, he'll send me a picture of the dog I let him have, or I'll send him a picture of the dog I kept. I've still got a ways to go. Ways to go. At least no one's driving crazy today. My son was like, Mom, they're trying to kill me, because he came up on his motorcycle with his son, took him for a bike ride, and he said they're just weaving and bobbing at 90 miles an hour, and he was like, this is the biggest bike I've ever had, and I'm not comfortable going that fast on it. I was like, I understand that. It's the same kind. It's still a Vulcan, but it's a big one. It's the first one he bought from a friend in pieces, and he brought it in. I bought a motorcycle, and he comes in, he's carrying a box, a gas tank, a motor, and 2 tires, and that's how he carried it into the house. He goes, well, there's my motorcycle, and he sat down and figured out how to put that thing back together. And then, I helped find a place that would coat the inside of the gas tank, because it had a pinhole in it. And so got it coated to seal it up, and that was the last part he had to do. And that one ran for 2 or 3 years. He drove that thing all over the place. I myself was like, I can't believe that thing even works, as he literally carried it in pieces. It was quite impressive. That was like his first car. He'd work on the engine, and he had pencils stuck in places, and gum, and duct tape. And he was like, you got any of them spare hose thingies from work? And I would bring him like the spare hoses off our suction canisters, because a lot of times she would have to piggyback them, and you wouldn't need all the hoses, but you couldn't use them for nothing else. So I would take them home, and he cut them up and used them for vacuum hoses. I was just like, oh my God. But if it works, more power to you. He was an engine. You could take a stereo, bring it in the house, throw it on the floor, bust it in pieces, and he'd put it back together, and it'd work. But you sit there and try to ask him what 10 plus 5 is, and without all the fingers, he was just like lost. So that school finally taught him how to use a calculator. It was like for years, I kept telling him I've tried everything. He just cannot get it. And found out he was dyslexic. So they had to start giving him pre-printed notes, because when he couldn't transcribe them. They taught him how to read them, but he couldn't transcribe notes from the wall to the paper. And then I was like, well, his math, I said, I've tried everything. And everyone was like, yeah, right, And finally one teacher was like, I can teach anybody. And after about 2 weeks, she was like, well, can I get him tested? And I was like, please, please, please get him tested. And they tested him, and he was like at second grade level, and he was in the 10th grade on his math. So that's when they said, oh, okay, we got to do something. And that's when they started teaching him with calculators, and so he could get by. I was like, jeez. But as far as trade goes, he could learn anything and do it. Just couldn't pass the test for it. I was like, yeah, I understand. See a little plane. Got a few more miles to hit the town I used to live in. My doctor's on the last exit of that town. Which is where I used to live. That's a pretty tree. I don't know what it is, but it was kind of cool looking. Pretty soon all the colored blooms will be out. The first ones to come out are the white, and then you'll start seeing the reds. And I think maybe the dogwoods are starting to come out. And so you start getting your reds and your pinks and all that. I finally gave up on trying to plant plants in my front garden and tried to kill everything in it. And when I did that, then my hyacinths and the monkey grass started blooming, and then all the weeds. Can't get rid of them weeds. I don't care what you do. So I just was like, fine, you guys can come up. They come up every year. But you can't sit there and actually buy a plant and put in there. It won't work. Now the weather's getting better, I may have my son come up, and I told him he could take all the poles and the lawnmower, and I'm going to see what's on my back porch that's metal that he can haul off. And I said, you can go turn in for some money. And he was like, well, okay. Do that and get all that out of there, because there's a couple of things that are, laying around that need to go. And then I'm going to clean up the back porch and power wash it, seal it, do some stuff like that. That's easy, and it's nothing heavy, so. And then my freezer. Okay, my crazy freezer. I guess it froze up because it was just humming, making this crazy sound. And I opened it up, and everything that was in the door was thawed out. And then meats were semi-thawed, but still cold. So I took those and put them in the other freezer and refroze them. And then just kind of shut the door. And I guess it thawed out enough that whatever was making it do that in the back started working. So now it's freezing again. But everything that was in there, I'm going to take it out, and I'm just going to turn it all the way down and get it de-thawed, or get it thawed where all the ice, because it's not frost-free, is gone. And it's not that much, it's just what there was before it decided to quit working. So, yeah, freezer went nuts, but now it's fine. So that's a good thing. Yeah, still on my little road trip. Been on it for about 30-something minutes, and they said I need to be a little early because I needed to fill out some kind of PFR or PGR or something paper. Oh, and I forgot my note. I forgot my note, but it's a PFR or PGR or whatever. And of course, I always have to remember to use my old married name because it's still under my married name in there. Because it's an act of Congress to change your name, guys. It really is. It just really is. It's just nice to see the white trees. Something other than brown. But that explains my poor head. All the pollen. Pollen's crazy. And the wind's picking up. I can see it in the treetops. Like when I go to my daughter's, like when I come up here Thursday to babysit, I have to get off at this first exit. Which was where I used to live off of, was this first exit. But I don't think I could live in town anymore because, you know, my nearest neighbor's, you know, like an acre away. Here, they're like right on top of you, 3 feet from your house. If that. That would just drive me nuts. They all up in your business. All up in your business. I got 5 more miles to get to the exit. And then I have to go through 2 big roundabouts. Dig out a mask, because they're still under where you got to have a mask in there. This town has 3 colleges. It has UCA, it has Hendrix, and it has, what else, that other one? Central Baptist or something like that. It's a smaller one. So 2 bigger colleges and 1 small one. And they finally put a light down here at this exit, which is, oh, thank God, because you used to never be able to get out it. It was horrible. Horrible. And they put tons of hotels up in here. And widened out the lanes, and now it goes to 3 lanes, which it used to all be 2 lane, but now it's not like an hour and a half drive to Conway or Russellville. No, not Russellville, Little Rock, because I'm going the wrong way. But it's not an hour and a half drive to Little Rock because of the traffic, because it used to be bumper to bumper for an hour and a half of it, you know. Now you can make there about 45 minutes. I'm going to get in the middle. Oh, that's neat. They put a wall up so you can't see everybody's houses anymore. And that's where we're going to go after I get out of the doctor's, is Hobby Lobby. Because he was at the Hobby Lobby. And then when we hit my town, I'll go to the Dollar Tree. And then this next exit is where they have put up, oh no, this is the one that has the one big center that has Target and Home Depot and Dick's or Ducks, Dick's, and Golden Corral and stuff like that. Also has my bank, which I think I'm going to go in there and have them quit doing transfers to my savings, and I'll just do them myself when I finally have monthly income. And then this next one is the exit for my doctor's office. And let me see if it's both of them or just one of them. And this is how you get to Toad Suck Park. Yes, Toad Suck Park. How you like that? And they actually have Toad Suck days. Okay, good. Both of these exit off. Oh, no, they don't. I'm going to have to get over. Because it's just the one. I was hoping it was both of them exited off, but no, it's just the one. I guess it's just the one up Little Rock that they made two off-ramp exits. And if you go right, you kind of go into town the back way. And over here, they built a big complex, and it has Red Robin, and has a Red Robin, has a Sam's, a Michael's. I think we finally got a Michael's in here. And then it has a Ultra or a Sephora, one of those. Has a Five Below. So it's a pretty cool shopping center, but it's huge. Absolutely huge. And they put a tire center in there. Okay, gas in this town is $3.89 instead of $3.81, so it's even more expensive here. But at least we're still in the threes. Now, if you get up to mid-grade or premium, it looks like in the fours. That's a red light. It sure looks yellow in my phone. I wonder all my colors look off in this thing. And then we come up to this fun roundabout. This town has gone roundabout crazy. In the housing areas, out of the housing areas, everything that had a stop sign or a light is getting roundabouts. I understand the lights because, yeah, they don't want to pay for the electricity, but even the stop signs, it's like, and half these people don't know how to drive in these things. This one they finally fixed where pretty much if you're in the middle, it's just a straight shot. You don't have to worry about changing lanes. And it's got a Ross in there. Oh, and they have a Dollar Tree. I might go into their Dollar Tree. That way I don't have to go to umpteen Dollar Trees. Because it'll be a bigger town Dollar Tree. So this is, every time I'm going to have to come up here for my therapy, this is where I'll have to come. And I don't know how often they'll have me coming. But at least they're doing it, whereas on the private sector, I wasn't getting it. And hey, they got rid of their COVID tent. Hey. Because they had a big old COVID tent out here. I wonder if that's someone hauling veterans that don't drive. And I can just pull straight on through. There we go. And that was my drive to the doctor's office. I will talk to y'all later. Have a great day. Bye.
Click here to subscribe.